If you want to be a successful commercial entertainer, click on the link below. Dooney's Coaching Secrets will help you. And my individual one-on-one sessions start at only $300 and it's a money-back guarantee. So if you're not happy with it, I'll give you your money back. Hi there. Now we're going to talk about game shows. Okay, I run game shows these days and I do it, I think, because I like game shows. Doesn't everyone want to be on a television game show? Doesn't everyone want to win fabulous prizes? Doesn't everybody want a chance to win some kind of thing like that? And it's amazing how entertaining that is. So I started doing these game shows as a part of as a tag with bingo. I would do bingo and game shows in between the bingo games. And I still do a ton of those because they're really, really good. People love playing bingo. They love winning the prizes. And when the games come in between the bingo, it's surprising and fun and who knows what. I also did a whole series of car bingo games when COVID hit and we couldn't get out, where we'd have people drive in their cars, they'd stay in their cars, we'd call bingo, we did stunts and game quizzes in between, and I did a whole series of these for a shopping center client of mine, and it really helped get me through COVID. It absolutely did. You can check on my blog, on my entertainment blog, looneydooney.com. If you want to find, I have a whole blog about how to do car bingo. Not that it's relevant these days, but it kind of fits in what I'm talking about now. So the other thing I found out about these shows is that, so I've been doing magic shows for 40 years, right? And I've been doing kids magic shows, family magic shows, adult magic shows. These game shows hold everybody's attention better than any other show I've ever done. I've had very difficult clients that want to hire me back. And their teenagers are rough, their teenagers are difficult. They want me there for the little kids and the teenagers give you a hard time. The adults don't participate. I sold them on these shows. I said, let's try these game shows, and everybody loved it. Everybody participated, everybody was actively involved. And I immediately knew that these shows were stronger for family groups, for all age groups, than anything I've ever done before. So, here's the deal. I think of it as a television game show. It's not like lawn games where we're all playing and participating and, tug of war, that kind of thing. No, it's an audience setting where people come up on stage, compete against each other, win a fabulous prize, go sit back down, and then it's somebody else's turn. And that way everybody has a chance to play, everybody has a chance to participate, but also everybody has a chance to clap, cheer them on, root for whoever they want to root for. And it's really, really great as a team builder exercise for corporations. Schools love it because it's absolutely a team building thing. You can do the kids against the teachers. You can do the, at work, you could do the accounting department versus the HR department, whatever. So anyway, the way I do it starts with the staging, okay? I want it to look like a show has come, a television show has come. And it doesn't, you can't make it look like that, right? But I'm going to show a bunch of pictures now about some of the staging setups that I've done. I definitely usually start with a pop-up tent. I definitely have a banner I try to particularize to a set of shows if I'm going to do a set of shows. If not, I have a generic banner to what I'm doing. I have a sound system that I bought that I love. It was worth the $2,000 or $3,000 I spent because now I can do audiences of up to 800, right? It's nice to have the power of the sound. I can play music. Everybody can hear. If I'm calling bingo, everybody can hear. So I have a tent, I have a backdrop, I have a sound system, I have my tables with tablecloths on them. I have a table for game equipment, which is all the game equipment that I'm using to run throughout the game, including bingo. If I'm running bingo, I have the bingo balls and all of that on my equipment table. And then I have a prize table. And the key to prizes is the better the prizes, the more people will participate. Okay, you want good prizes. They don't have to be trips to Hawaii. They don't have to be Super Nintendos. But you could buy a gift card, a $20 gift card for Amazon, and it plays this small. Or you could buy a $20 kite that opens up, it's colorful, hangs on your tent, and now you've got a big prize, right? Like I've gone to, with one of my clients, I'm giving away inflatable paddle boards. And I did an inflatable movie theater so that it packs small, plays big, right? So anyway, prizes, fabulous prizes. And it all looks like a setup, right? I can theme it. I can do, like I did a Survivor theme show. I did a cruise theme show where I was a cruise director. I just got done this month doing a series of Alice in Wonderland shows where I did 8 shows that were Alice in Wonderland shows where I dressed up as the Mad Hatter. And then I just also did 2 sports theme shows for a shopping center client. So theme the shows and charge the client for it, right? Now I don't charge a little bit of money for these. I charge a chunk of money for these. And when you add the prizes in, it's another chunk of money, right? But it's worth it because everybody enjoys it. And every single client I have that books these shows with me books multiple shows throughout the year for multiple events because they work so well. So I feel like this is a gem, right? I feel like this is something I really want you to understand, that this is valuable. Okay, so we start with the staging. And, you know, I'm a pack small, play big kind of guy. You know, everything I bring out fits in my Subaru SUV, right? Including the tent and the tables and the sound system and everything else. I can usually put it on a dolly where I can roll in 1 or 2 dolly trips. And it takes me about 20 minutes to set up the show and about 15 minutes to break it down, right? It's not a big deal, but it looks good and it plays good. One of the other things that I do, and I'll see if I can find some pictures of this, is I lay out AstroTurf carpets for the kids to sit on. So I like to build my audiences with, you know, like an arena kind of feel, you know, where there's lower seats in front and higher seats in the back. So I started using these AstroTurf carpets, which I got from one of the Ronald McDonalds that I worked with. That's my Ronald McDonald shoe right back there for being a Ronald for 20 years. But anyway, so I have these AstroTurf carpets. Okay, they're basically 10 by 12 or 12 by 12 squares. I put duct tape around the corner of them. I fold them up. They're in my garage. When I take them to my shows, I put them in front of the shows. I can move them back as far as I want so that I have room for the games in the front of the show. But now when I say, all right, kids, come sit down, the kids are sitting down. The parents are in chairs. They might be in chairs at tables, or they might have, the client might have a full set of chairs for me. Then there are people standing behind. So it's a whole amphitheater type audience, right? Again, part of the staging, part of what makes it feel like a show. Okay, then what I do is I want to enlist everybody to play with me right away. So for years, I did a rebus puzzle to start. What these are is they're word puzzles, okay? I'm going to show you some video here of some of the word puzzles that we do. So I would start with these rebus puzzles, And the idea is anybody could answer yes. Anybody could get the answer. You know, you have to be clear with what the rules are with every single game. So the rules of this game is you can't yell out the answer. You have to raise your hand. If you raise your hand and I pick on you, you get the answer correct, you win a ticket. So part of my beginning spiel is that in order to win the prizes, you have to play with me, and in order to get a chance to win the prizes, you win tickets. So I used to give out prizes for each game, but then you have to know exactly how many prizes. Sometimes I might have teams of 3 or teams of 4, so you have to be so precise about your prize buying that I went to this other method where I hand out tickets, raffle tickets, for everybody that plays with me. And if I want them to feel excited, I'll say, who wants to win 5 raffle tickets?
Okay. All right, everybody give yourself a big clapping hand of applause. Who would like to win 5 tickets? Is there anybody here that would like to win 5 tickets? All right, have a seat on your bottoms if you want to win 5 tickets.
Right, 5 raffle tickets. And, you know, I might give 10 raffle tickets because the idea is lots of chances to win. So anyway, I used to use this Rebus puzzle to hand out a lot of tickets. I do all these different puzzles and hold them up, make them big enough for people to see. I actually started with laminated. You know, I bought myself a laminator. I'm actually a laminator. I'm a card-carrying laminator because I can make a set of these puzzles for anything I want in about half an hour. If I'm doing a money-themed show, I can make money Rebus puzzles. I just did an Alice in Wonderland show. I did Alice Rebus puzzles. I can do, you know, anything I want, or I can just do anything open, right? And I can stick these in a little box and they pack flat and they play big. All right. So that was how I used to start my shows. Then I got my little Plinko game. So here's a visual of that, right? It's a prize drop thing. I bought it on Amazon. It was 25 bucks or something, and I was doing a Price is Right show. So I had to have a Plinko game. But now I start with this.
Plinko. What you do is you take the coin and you put it in either this one or this one or this one or this one, any one of those, and whatever it drops down to, notice how there's numbers down there? 1, 3, 2, 1. If it lands on a 1, you get 1 ticket. If it lands on a 3, you get 3 tickets. If it lands on a 2, you get 2 tickets. If it lands on a 1, you get 1 ticket. All right? So all you have to do is drop it. Ooh, and that would have won 2 tickets. So that's how I'm going to give away the very first tickets. Big kid in the gray sweatshirt, come stand. Come stand. What's your name? Zariah? Nice to meet you. I want everybody in slow motion to hop in line behind Zariah right over there. Line them up, line them up, line them up, line them up. All right, Jim.
Because everybody gets in line, they drop, they either win 1, 2, or 3 tickets. They have a chance of getting excited and winning 3 tickets, or they at least win 1. But now everybody cruises through and gets tickets. It gets everybody into the show. People see people lining up and they run and jump in line. They want one of these things, whatever it is. They don't even know. But then after they get their tickets, I tell the kids, go sit on the carpets, go sit on the carpets. We go through this line to get your tickets. And now before I even start the show, everybody has participated. They've played a game with me, and some people have more tickets than others. And that's right after that, I'll say, who would like to win 5 tickets? You know? And everybody's like, yeah, let's do it.
Slow motion, pick any one. Awesome A's get 1 point. Give Awesome A's, give him a big clapping hand.
So this is how I run this Plinko game at schools. I divide this classroom into half and half, and I get 3 kids up from each side, and I let them do the Plinko game. Now at schools, I don't give out raffle tickets because we don't have prizes, right? But what I do is each team gets that number of points. So when this team member drops it, they got 2 points. So I have the person who's keeping score give them 2 points, which, by the way, I do get the teachers to help me keep score on this. And that way, by using the same game, the same game. I can get both teams started, right? Everybody sees how easy it is. Each team gets some points, and it usually winds up pretty close, right? In this case, the team on your right got 1 point more than the team on your left. And so right away we have teams with points, and one team's leading and one team's behind. Okay, so I just thought I'd show you how to do it at a school, and we'll get back to the video. So the next thing I do is this bottle shaker bit, okay? It's 2 bottles that have a screw piece so that they fit together in the middle. Beads on one side, you turn it upside down, you shake the bottles, and the beads go down to the bottom, right, to the other side. Very simple. So I love to use this to start with little tiny kids, 3-year-old kids. They come up, they shake the bottles. I say, since you're only 3, the winner gets 5 tickets. And since these guys are only 3, the person that comes in second place gets 5 tickets. So I make it where both of these little kids win 5 tickets, right? But it shows the audience that the games are going to be easy. They're not going to be hard. And usually I do the 2 kids, but then the next thing I do before I start the game is I say, what's your job as an audience? Your job is to cheer them on. Cheer them on, cheer them on.
Cheer 'em on, cheer 'em on, cheer 'em on.
So it gets the audience cheering for these little kids, and they will. They'll cheer loud, okay? I just did this series of shopping center shows where they had all these different booths. And by the time I was done with the shaker bottles, pretty much everybody in this whole fair was watching my show, and nobody was walking around the booths. That's the way it happens. It just sucks people in. So anyway, so I'll do the kids, then I'll do medium-sized kids. I'll do 10-year-old kids, right? Then I'll bring up adults, and I can even have them do the shaker bottles. Or I'll bring up 2 adults. All right, let's get 2 adults. You, mom, you, dad. Come on, everybody. And the other thing is you want to pick everybody. You want to pick all different ages. You want to pick boys, girls, different races all throughout the show. You want to mix it up so that everybody has a chance, right? So what I was saying is I'd do the little kids, I'd do the medium-sized kids, and then I'd bring the adults up. The thing of it is, though, what I'll do, they're coming up expecting the shaker bottles. I'll start to hand them the shaker bottles and say, but you guys are going to play a different game.
Thanks for volunteering. Let's give Mom a big clapping hand of applause. How about the dad in the back? The black, the tall dad, the tall dad, the tall dad. Yeah. Let's have somebody hold your tickets for you, Dad. Have somebody, you got it? All right. Now, you thought it was the same game. I'm sorry, it's not.
So they have already volunteered. They're already up there, and they're already sucked into the next game, right? I don't ask for volunteers necessarily. I'll pick an age group, or I'll say I need this, I'll say that. For me, one of the crowd control techniques with kids is I'm looking for somebody who is sitting quietly, hands in their laps, big smiles on their faces. So anyway, I'll do like I do the slinky on the head with the adults. So what it is it's a headband. You want to make sure to wash them in between each show, dry them out, make sure they're nice and flat so that people feel like they're clean. All I did was I took a plastic slinky, basically cut it in half, fixed one end together with a piece of tape so it made a circle that was taped together. It didn't have a loose end. And I stick that inside the headband, and the slinky hangs down. Now both of these games, the shaker bottle game and the slinky head game, I got from a TV show called Minute to Win It. These are games that are easy to use, household items. On TV, you had to beat the 60-second clock. That was the goal. You had to beat the 60-second clock. In my show, you have to beat the other contestants. And so it doesn't make it last 60 seconds, it might last 3 minutes. But, I keep it going where it's fun. But anyway, so this becomes very silly. Okay, it makes for great pictures. It makes for a lot of laughing. By now, the audience is trained to cheer them on, cheer them on, cheer them on, cheer them on. Sometimes they need a hint because they go really crazy. It's just a gentle tip up, just a gentle tip up. But anyway, what's crazy is it makes for great pictures. It's a lot of fun. And then somebody wins. Boom. Somebody gets it. Big applause. The winner gets 5 tickets. I usually give the second place person 2 or 3 tickets. So they still get tickets, but they don't get the 5 tickets. Okay. So I'm going to cover a bunch of different games at the end of this. We'll just go over different games. But let's talk about the show. Okay. So if you notice a television game show, they have a beginning where it's the basic game, and then usually people are eliminated. Somebody's eliminated. It's down to 2. And then they have these 2 people or 2 teams play against each other. And in this last round, the points are doubled, right? The points are doubled. So the reason they do that is so that it's usually always the last event that decides the winner. And that's what you want. You want the last event to decide the winner. So I'll do a lot of these little games that are 1-on-1 or 2-on-2 or 3-on-3. But I sometimes will do a game where it's not a race. It's like the pencil game, where you're grabbing the pencils, right? You start with 6 or 8 people. It drops down as people fall out to 2 or 3. You would love for it to get to 2 people, the last 2 people, right? But even if it's 3 people, you'd love to get to 3 people. And then when you get that one person that wins, you want them to go further. Now they're trying to set a world record, right? They're trying to set a world record. In my shows, the world record is 28 pencils. Okay, it's a lot of pencils, and this 20-year-old kid did it. It was great. And I kept my audiences going for like 10 minutes while he went through this process of going up 2 pencils at a time. And what I did was I'd say, all right, if you get 15, I'll give you 15 tickets. All right, he did it. Yay. All right, let's go 20. If you get 20, I'll give you 20 tickets. Right? And I raise it up. I make it exciting. I try to get where that grand finale, ta-da. You know, he was at 28 tickets. He didn't make 30. So when he just missed 30, the whole audience groaned. They were pulling for him, you know, everybody's in it. So I mix it up. I have little kids, I have big kids, I have one-on-one competition. Then I might have quiz questions. I'll do quiz questions where everybody can raise their hand. I'll do the Rebus prizes now. I'll do the Rebus quizzes. I love those because it makes people think, and the adults makes the adults think too, right? The kids are not so great at figuring out these word puzzles, but I do some basic ones for kids. Like I have a big foot. It's a big word, foot. That's all it says is foot, and the answer to the quiz is Bigfoot, right? Bigfoot. But I mix it up. Sometimes it's quiz questions. Sometimes it's Rebus. Sometimes it's whatever. And, you know, the goal is to have the last games your most exciting games. You know, whatever you like to play the best, whatever the audience likes to play the best. This one might be worth 10 tickets, or this one might be worth 15 tickets. You build up the surprise. And this will be the last chance to win tickets before we draw the prizes. So who wants to be in the last chance to win tickets before we do the prizes? The dice stacking game on the tongue depressor. So another thing I'll do, all right, is I have this foam dice stacking game that I do. It's a foam dice stacking game where I'll take a 5-year-old and they have to stack 5 dice. I'll take a 7-year-old, they have to stack 7 dice. I'll take an 11-year-old and they have to stack 11 dice. You know, maybe not. Maybe I'll make them stack 9 dice or something. What happens is at one point it'll all fall. The dice all fall all over the place. And the kids on the ground will help you out. They'll hand it up. So I start this thing of handing it up where they hand it up. Then I start throwing them out in the audience. Then I start throwing them way out in the audience, way out in the audience, way out in the audience. And the idea is it gets crazy. it gets crazy. There's dice flying everywhere. There's kids flying everywhere. There's whatever. And then I end it with bring it in, put it in the bag. Bring it in. They all bring it in. They put it in the bag. I tie up the bag. I put it away so it's ready to go home. And I line everybody up who helped me out, and I give each one a ticket. Everybody who helped me gets a ticket. Everybody who helps me gets a ticket. So my grand finale game that I really love is a Kleenex pull game. Okay, I don't think I got...
Go, look at him go. It's snowing in San Diego. Look at him go. Snowing in San Diego. Look at her go. Okay, pull them up. There's one. There's two. There's three.
Where they hold a box of Kleenex. They have to pull out one at a time. I made the rule that you hold it against your stomach. You pull the Kleenex has to be let go above your head. And that causes them to throw it higher. Throw. This makes total pandemonium. Total crazy. It's snowing in San Diego. And it also makes a mess everywhere. But it's a great bit. You know, my 4 volunteers, 1 wins, the winner gets the tickets, everybody laughs. I throw all the empty boxes on the ground, and then I tell the kids, all right, I'm going to give all you kids under 6 30 seconds to pick up all these Kleenexes. And if you do, everybody gets a ticket, right? So this bit is great because now the kids are all running and they're picking it all up. Now I give them 30 seconds and I count backwards, 30, 29, 28. But what happens is they'll get it up in about 10 seconds. It won't take long, especially if there's a lot of kids. They get it up, and so when the group brings me a bunch and they turn around to go get more, I'll start throwing it out. I'll start throwing it around. Big handfuls if I can. And the parents laugh their butts off about that because their kids are bringing them in, I'm throwing them out, right? 27, 26. And I can also tailor how fast I'm counting to how fast the kids are cleaning them up. 11, 10, you guys are doing a great job. What a great job. Where was I? 10, 9, right? But it's again, pandemonium. And then it all comes back into where when the last kids are bringing them up, 5, 4, 3, hurry up, we got to get 2, come on, get that left through 1, get it in, 0, good job. Give these kids a big hand of applause. Everybody gets a ticket, and it's a big, crazy snowing in San Diego, crazy kids going everywhere, and then they're all back in control again. All right, everybody who wants to win a prize, have a seat on the carpet. Boom, they're down on the carpet, right? So the goal is you have to build the prizes, you have to build the props, you have to build the shaker bottles, you have to build the Reeboks puzzles. There are a bunch of, things that I built. Not too many, but a bunch of things that I built. But I also kept my eye out for things like I found this trash basket that looks like a basketball hoop. Looks exactly like a basketball hoop. And then I got foam basketballs. And now I have a basketball shooting game, right? I have, there's a pie splat game where there's this hand and you click the button and it either goes or it doesn't go, and you whip cream on it and they have to hold their face up it and they click and it doesn't. You hand it to the next person, click, it doesn't. You hand it to the next person, click, pow, it splats them in the face. I love that game. Everybody loves that game, but it's messy. I have to bring wipes, I have to bring paper towels to everybody get cleaned up. And then the main thing is that the equipment has whipped cream on it, and then it dries, while you're doing the rest of the show, and you have to clean it all up. So I don't use that one so much, but I love it. It's a great bit. So anyway, grand finale. Now what you do is you start to give away the prizes. But now I'm at the end. I still want to make sure that there's nobody else without tickets, because a lot of people will have come up, or maybe somebody only got one. So what I do with my tickets, this is another thing I should talk about, is I get the tickets where there's 2 pieces to them. There's a keep this coupon and there's a ticket. So you don't have to have them write their name on it or anything. You give them the keep this coupon, you keep the ticket, and now if you call that number, they have a matching number. But I'll pull out 200 of these tickets. split them all. I'll break up all the individual tickets into single tickets, put them in a bucket. Ticket, 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 put them in a bucket. The keep this coupon tickets, I'll keep in strips of 5, 10, 15. I'll rip them into strips of 5 so that they're all in the bucket. I pull the keep this coupon 5 strips, and that's what I use to hand out all day long. At the end, I'll have some of those left over, hopefully. I pull those out and I say, all right, who doesn't have a ticket? Is there anybody? Come get one, and I'll give everybody one. I'll decide how many I have to give away. I might give everybody 2 tickets if I have a bunch to give away. I might give everybody 3 tickets if I have a bunch to give away. But the idea is I make sure everybody has a ticket or 2 or 3 to play the game. So no matter whether you played with me or you didn't, no matter if you won the 15 tickets or you only won 1 ticket, I make sure that those who have a few tickets have at least a few tickets. And finally, I pull the prizes, right? Pull the prizes. And it takes about 15 minutes to pull the prizes. So I'll do an hour show. I'll charge between $600 and $1,000, depending upon how much staging I have to do for the show. And I'll suggest it's I have one client that gives me $1,000 a show for prize tickets. For prizes. So in an hour-long show, it's 45 minutes of games, 15 minutes of giving out prizes. The better the prizes, the more people want to participate. If I'm doing bingo, you should give out prizes with each bingo game. But then I have one prize left over where I do zany games in between the bingo games. And then we'll pull the raffle for that one prize at the end. So that's about it. Again, you don't want to say in your head that people can't afford this. People can afford anything that is valuable, right? People will make things valuable. And this is a valuable show. It's a valuable show. I did 11 of these game shows this April 2023. I did one on Easter Sunday for my casino client. I did 6 as a set of a client, these Alice in Wonderland shows for a military family housing client. I did 3 of these shows for shopping centers, and I did 1 for my little preschool group so that I could get some video on it. So 11 of these shows in April. I didn't do 11 magic shows. All of these clients have bought my magic shows. All of these clients know my magic shows cost less money. All of these clients have paid more money because it's valuable. All ages like it. It's fun to the end. And, if you have a corporate client, like a company picnic or a team building seminar, you can charge a lot of money. You can put the teams in t-shirts, you can charge a lot of money. You can charge thousands and thousands of dollars for a 2-hour package of this show. So I'll give you some games, but practice them. Start small. Start with a 15-minute show in the middle of your magic show. Start with a couple of games in your magic show. You don't even have to give away prizes. Like, that is one of the things I guess I should mention. When I do schools, like I'm doing at the preschool here, I say no prizes. Who's going to win? Nothing. No trips to Hawaii, no Super Nintendo, no prizes. And throughout the show, I remind the kids, who's going to win the prizes? Nobody. No prizes. So at the very end, when we have the big finale, that team won, yay, that team didn't win, oh well. Prizes, are there any prizes? Nope, no prizes, it was all just for fun. So you have to set that up ahead of time. But for most commercial events, prizes, big prizes, big prizes. We love our prizes. Here are my top games that I really love. I love the Plinko game because it gets everybody interested. There's a chance to win 1, 2, or 3 tickets. I can let everybody come through once if it's a big crowd. I can let everybody come through twice if it's a small crowd. It helps me build a crowd because people see what's going on over there. It passes out tickets, so I love the Plinko game. I love the rebus puzzles. I love them. It makes people think. I save my hardest one till the end, right? I can tailor it. I put these all on the big art pad when I was doing the drive-in bingo because I want it big enough for everybody to see it. But now I'm doing big enough shows that I use that all the time. I still do laminate. When I'm doing smaller shows, I laminate them. But anyway, I love the rebus signs. You could just run a search for rebus puzzles on the internet, do rebus puzzles, and then make it an image search, and all of a sudden you've got tons of rebus puzzles. The shaker bottle is a must, okay? So the way I made the shaker bottle is I took Smart Water and I took the label off so that it's just a plain bottle. I started with the bigger Smart bottles, but I have like a tub where I carry all my equipment and it wouldn't fit in the tub. So I went with smaller shaker bottles and they're just fine. They play big, no problem. But the screw thing I bought on Amazon, it's a thing that causes a cyclone. It spins, it causes a tornado if you use liquid. You turn it upside down bottle to bottle and it'll spin and make a circular like a tornado, right? And what you do is you just take a drill and you drill that inner hole out. You drill the inner hole out so that it's bigger. And I use beads. I use those big craft beads as my shaker beads. I started with candy, but then what happens is it breaks up and it gets old. And I went to these beads and now it lasts forever. So two Smart bottles that I take the label off. I take a little bit of Goo Gone and I take all the sticky stuff off, screw that screwer to screw the two bottles together, put the beads in, and all of a sudden you've got shakers that are ready to go anytime you want for small, medium, or large contestants. The headbands with the slinkies, more of a older teen adult thing, older teen and adults. I use a hula hoop. I'll use 4 hula hoops or 5 hula hoops if it's a big show, 6 hula hoops. What I do is I have people come up and stand in their hula hoops. Those will be my volunteers. Then they pick it up and they do a normal hula hoop contest around your stomach. The winner of that gets 1 ticket. Some people are really good, so you make them spin around in their hula hoop. You make them hula hoop on one foot. You make them stop the hula hoop and spin it the other direction. Stuff like that for people that are really good. So that's my first hula hoop contest. Then I do it on your arm, around your arm like this, where you're spinning around just on your arm. Then I'll do it on your neck. And then the last thing is jumping rope.
You have to do it 10 times.
Nice.
You're standing there looking at me like I'm crazy, and this guy's doing it with no problem.
So again, I can take that one set of props and I do 4 different hula hoop contests. Everybody will have different strengths, so you'll have different winners. I use the same contestants and they do 4 different contests, 4 different winners. Everybody, 4 people get 5 tickets, everybody else gets 1 ticket. It's a big hand of applause, but that's packed small. It's 4 hula hoops and it plays big for those games. I did a thing with a bunch of plungers. Same kind of thing. They'd have to keep the plunger balanced on top of their head. I'd make them spin around. I'd make them stand on one foot. I'd make them hop up and down. I'd make them get down on their knees and stand back up. Make sure to tell them they're clean, brand new, never been used. What else do I have? Okay, so the dice stacking game. I have 2 different dice stacking games. One is where, this one's a minute to win it game, where they have to keep the tongue depressor in their mouth, stack 5 dices one at a time up. The first one up to the 5 wins. Okay. So I usually do that in phases. The first phase is I have them hold the tongue depressor in their hand like this and stack the dice one at a time on top of it. You have to tell them one at a time because otherwise they'll try to stack the whole stack up. That doesn't work. So one at a time. So you have them practice it. And you get ready to start. Okay, you guys ready? Here we go. Oh, I forgot. The tongue depressor goes in your mouth. And I tell them, if you hold it here, it'll wobble, wobble. So I tell them to hold it on the side like this, and it's sturdier. So I have them practice stacking it up like this, right? Stack, stack, stack. All right, then I turn to the audience. What's your job? Your job is to cheer them on, and then they stack it up. This is a great one for teens, adults. I love it. Usually the person who does best in practice doesn't do best in the contest. Because trust me, when people get that go, when it's the pressure of the contest, it's stressful, it's different, right? So anyway, the dice stacking game. The foam dice, I found these first time at a 99-cent store. I love them because they're light. So I can have a kid stack them individually. I can have ages start small and go to older. In the school show here, I had 2 teachers come up at the end, and I had, so again, I'm trying to make it to where the last thing is the winner, right? The last thing decides the winner or the loser. So I had divided up my school into 2 teams, Awesome A's and Killer B's. Awesome A's are on this side, Killer B's are on this side. So the Killer B's were winning in this particular video. So I had their teacher go first. See how high she could stack it. She stacked up to 11. Yay, give her a big hand. So now all the pressure is on the Awesome A's teacher. She has to go to 12. If she goes to 12, her team wins. If she doesn't make 12, her team loses. Every dice, it gets harder and harder. In the video, I'll see if I can put this here where you guys can hear it. She goes, I don't want to do this. When she's up to about 8. I don't want to do this. So anyway, she made it to 12. Their team won. Voila.
So it's simple. All you gotta do is be 11. All right. This takes a lot of concentration. Okay, do you feel good? You feel good. Keep it low so you're stacking. Okay. And you can hold with your thumb down below if you want. Oh. Yeah, you can hold it like that.
Oh. That's a game changer.
Right, that is 2. This is 3. This is 4. This is 5.
What did you get?
This is 6. You just kept going. One at a time. That's 6. That's 7. Just have to let go for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. That's good. That's 8. 1, 2, 3. That's 9.
It's feeling very wobbly.
I know, but you're doing such a good job. That's 9. That's 10. All right, gotta let it go for 3 seconds. 10. That's 11.
One more. You got it.
One more. It's down to this last one.
I don't want to do this. You got it.
But you're doing so well. Now let it go for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3.
I have found that the second person concentrates more and does better. So it's almost always a come from behind win. Doesn't happen all the time, but it's almost always a come from behind win. And that's okay. If they're not a come from behind win, if they lose, then oh well, they lose. You know, that's the way it is. This team gets tickets, or this team gets to be the winner. This team gets less tickets. No big deal. And then I use these light dice for throwing around, being crazy, right? So let's think of what else I've got. I do a couple of bingo games where I'm not doing full bingo. There's a game called Loser Bingo. Like if you've got a smaller crowd, you can pass out one bingo card, and we're all playing Loser Bingo. And you call bingo, and the way of it to win this is to not get any numbers. You're looking for the one card that will get 0 numbers. So everybody starts, you call the first number, whoever has that number, they're out of the game. So people are dropping like flies. You call the second number, more people are out of the game. You call the third number, more people are out of the game. And what you do is you check who's out, who's still in, who's still in. You get down to where you have a manageable group for your stage, like say 6 or 10. You bring those people up and you say, all right, take your right hand, point your finger up, point your thumb out. Very good. Put it on your forehead. You guys are the biggest losers so far. Makes for great pictures. Everybody laughs. What I love about this is you could have a 4-year-old kid go against a 50-year-old man. They both have the same chance of winning. You keep calling numbers, you keep knocking people out. You check the ones, you check, make sure they don't get the numbers. If they do get the numbers, they sit down. If they don't, they're still up. You can weed it down to the last few. Say it's 2 or 3, and you call a number, they all get the number. So they all stay up. It's just down to these last 3. They all don't get the number. They're all still in it until you work your way down to where one person doesn't have the number. That's the losingest card. That's the biggest loser. And they get the prize. Everybody else gets a single ticket. Everybody that came up gets a single ticket. Loser bingo. All right. What else? The basketball game. I did a game for Alice in Wonderland where I had these inflatable pink flamingos, and I put them in 2 hula hoops. So there were 5 in each hula hoop. I had a team with a stretchy balloon thing, and they'd go pick up 1 pink flamingo at a time and put it in another hula hoop. It was a race. Which team could get the first 5 moved over. So I just make up games. I make up games that fit with what I'm trying to do, right? Alice in Wonderland, I did a high card poker where I got these that's a big card, but I got even bigger cards. And I had them each, I mixed them up. I had them each pick a card. We did it one at a time. Whoever got the high card was the winner. Everybody else got a consolation ticket. So there's thousands of games. So anyway, the next thing I did when I was building this was I did some shows for free. And I brought a photographer along. And I got the best pictures I could get. I got the best pictures and the best video. Once you get the pictures and the video, you build yourself a promo video. You include the pictures in your emails to your clients. You pick a price point that you like. You get your sound system together, you get your staging together, and you just start selling these shows to your clients who are already buying magic shows or whatever. If you're a clown and they're buying face painting and balloons, they will still buy this show because they're trying to entertain large groups of multiple age audiences, and you tell them this works for that. And then you get out there and you go to work, man. You start making money. But the other thing is you have fun. These are fun shows. People are making jokes, and if somebody makes a joke that works, you use it in your next show, right? They're laughing for each other. They're clapping for each other. You get great moments of intensity. Like this one here where the woman misses the pencils. I love that one.
Holy moly. Give Bernice a big hand. All right. How many pencils do we have now, you guys? Is this 10? Yeah. On television, on Minute to Win It, you do 12. But you guys already have 10. So that's pretty good. Bernice, you're first. Okay, make them nice and balanced. Give her a hand of applause. No problem. All right, you ready? It's okay. Take your time.
Anyway, this is what I'm doing now. This is my latest and greatest, and I thought I'd share it with you. So good luck with it all. Don't forget my coaching site. is available for anybody who wants help to help make your business better. And check out all the videos. I'm now over 100 videos, so wahoo. Anyway, have a great day, and good luck in spreading fun and joy and silliness and happiness. And I'm glad you're part of my team.